Man, it's been a while. Welcome back to Real Purple's Turbo the Daily. I'm really stoked to get back working on the E36. It's really close. It's really close. Couple little things that we have to sort through today. I'm going to be playing around with the ECU. So this is going to go in the factory casing that the factory ECU came in. So that'll be cool. We have to run boost pressure to it, and I think air intake temp. Not really sure. That's why we're going to play with it. But after that, we're gonna go ahead and do the fuel pump in this thing, and then I have to run a new fuel line to the fuel pressure regulator, and then I have to find some sort of vacuum to that out of the intake manifold. So a couple little chores for today, but like I said, we're getting really close, and it feels good. I can't wait to hear it. It feels good to be working on this thing again. So without further ado, let's get to it. So first thing that I want to do today is really spend a little bit of time on the Link ECU. So this is a plug and play system from Link. We've talked about it a little bit before, but now it's time to put it in its real home. So this is the factory ECU out of the OBD1 E36 that we have here. And then inside of here, we're gonna put the actual ECU in this box. So I'm gonna take this piece out. I have to bend these little tabs over, get that out, a couple little torque screws, we're gonna pull those out, and then this thing basically gets thrown away or sold off, and then the other ECU gets slid in there. And I've never done this before, so I should probably do a little bit of reading. It comes with installation instructions inside of here, so I should honestly probably take the time and just read through it real quick and see if I can't learn a little bit, because I don't know what I'm doing. Look at that. I have taken out of there before. Whoa, trippy. Okay, so I got the factory ECU apart, and then I'm starting to put the Link one inside of it. So first things first, they said in the instructions that you have to take the bottom plate off of the old ECU, put it on the Link one, and then we have a couple different holes that we have to punch into this case. So this right here is gonna be the tuning cable. It's how you plug it into your laptop. It's how you're gonna get the laptop to communicate with the ECU, so obviously pretty important. So I'm gonna go ahead and drill a hole right about there. And then this one right here is a map sensor. So this is gonna actually get boost pressure from the intake manifold. So Link plug and play ECU is in the original DME box. So this is my map sensor line. It's gonna be going to the intake manifold to read boost pressure that runs to the ECU. And then this is my cable that goes to your laptop. So those, I just put drilled little holes in the top of this thing, put some grommets in there so they don't chafe. And now it's time to slide this thing back into its home and move on. Since I'm pretty much smoked on the fuel pump, I need to wait for a couple parts to show up for that thing. I figure I might as well come over here and plumb in the Turbo Smart boost controller. So this is a delay valve or a boost controller. Basically, you just thread this down, and there's like a little pin that goes down, and it basically just delays the amount of air that can get to your wastegate, so you can run more or less boost just by turning this little knob here. So what I'm gonna do, off the compressor housing of the Garrett Turbo, there is a little fitting that looks just like that, and that's gonna have boost pressure coming out of it. So I'm gonna run that into this side, just with a little flex line, the same one that we just put on our ECU. It's gonna run this way. This is towards the wastegate, and then we're gonna run a little flexi line down to the bottom side of the wastegate, and that's just gonna be able to change our boost pressure. So actually really easy to put on. This thing was like 35 bucks, 40 bucks, came with everything. So yeah, I found a sweet little spot right here. It's got a little threaded hole. So I figure I could just bolt that thing right down there, and then I already got a couple hoses. I got the one stuck on the bottom, and this one looks to be about the right length. I'm gonna plug that right onto there. It came with these sweet little clamps. Turbo Smart thought of everything. So yeah, I'm gonna bolt that down there, stick that on, and then this line back down there to the wastegate. Easy as that. So sometimes these hoses can be just a little bit tough to put on there. It's a little bit tight. Obviously it has to have boost pressure behind it, so it's got to have a little bit of stick to it so it doesn't just leak. So what I like to do is just use a little bit of Real Purple oil. I'm just going to put just a tiny little bit on the end, and then I'm going to smear a little bit on the outside of this. And that's just going to make that hose nice and easy to put on there. It doesn't take much at all. Boop, look at that. Bada bing. And don't forget to put these little guys on there too. Actually really important to have these on. from the turbo through the boost tee and then down to the wastegate. The wastegate's pretty far back there, so zip tie this to a couple different things, try to keep this line from getting too cooked by this manifold. Definitely don't want to have this line leaning on the exhaust manifold at all, because then it's going to get burnt. Obviously that exhaust manifold is going to get really hot when we go to run this thing, so maybe if I could go by the store and find a little bit of heat sleeving, it probably wouldn't be a bad idea to put some over this hose just to make sure that it doesn't get cooked, because if that loses pressure, then your wastegate's not going to open, which means it's going to overboost your motor, which is bad. All right, well, I feel pretty good about today. Got a couple things done. We're kind of down to the nitty gritty, like the little stuff, the fine detail stuff, but overall feeling pretty good about it. It's getting closer and closer by the day. I cannot wait to hear this thing, and I cannot wait to drive it. Real Purple's asking me how many episodes that we have left on this thing, so I figure we'll probably have 2 episodes left, one for the startup and then for the dyno, and then obviously we gotta take it to the track and go beat the crap out of it, ideally. So just a couple more, hang in there, but thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.